Okay, guys, I want to make a video before I head out tonight. Okay, if you guys pay attention or wake up, you look around, you drive around, you investigate, you ask friends and families, co-workers, you dig around, you're gonna know everything what I've been talking about. Okay, the world is a stage. We've been lied to about everything. Okay, so you better make sure you're taken care of. Make sure you take care of yourself, then your families. If you don't take care of yourself, nobody ain't gonna take care of you, okay, guys? God only help those who help themselves, okay? So if you don't help yourself, nobody ain't helping you. You know? Not your friends, you know? Not your leaders, your government. No. People only have their best interests at heart, okay, guys? The whole world's bankrupt for 8 years, starting 2018 when my wife Silver left me, I am it. So everything I do, it matters to the whole world and everybody, everything. It's gonna offset something or somebody in the matrix here, okay? This way everybody's having a shitty life. Not only that, we got the J-Riders, the Mandela effect. We got the matrix glitching. We have all sorts of problems. The programmer, thieves, the globalist elite with the shadow government, the cabal, you know. We've been lied to. Everybody's an artificial implant baby. They make it look like we had sex with our wife and we pregnant her, huh? But do you see your sperm go into that egg and pregnant your wife? And how do you know your wife have eggs in her ovary, productive ovary? You don't. You just see your penis, go inside that pizza or hamburgers, and now she's pregnant. And that's what they want you to believe. You're paying child support for a kid's not even yours. You know, you go gamble or you lost all your money and now you go in divorce or go in debt. You know, they lie to you that you go to college and after you graduate you're gonna get a good degree. You just put yourself in debt and you're busting your ass 2-3 jobs just to pay off your student loans. You know, thousand out of 1,000 graduate, only like maybe like 5, 10, or 100 people gets a good job. But then you have to sell your soul to the devil, second cost, kissing ass just to keep your job. You know, all this car dealership, put us in debt. They throw us under the water. We're busting ass to pay off our car. Buying a house, it's a fraud. We're busting ass to pay off our mortgage and our car payment. Credit cards are vampires. They create credit cards. It's a fraud. I know a friend or several people that just used like $1,000 on a credit card and they pay for 15 years. And look at all this interest. Each time you don't pay off your mortgage, your car loan, or your credit card, whatever percentage, like 20, 30%, it accumulates every month. And you're paying $1,000 for 15 years, and you probably pay like $20,000, $30,000 interest. Out of $1,000 you borrow. They create a religion for us so the pastor and the church can rob our money. They create the money systems. They create the drug trafficking. So put everybody on drugs. Put it on the B system. Guys, the list just go on. Your 401k is fraud. All your pension's been stolen. And then you try to take out loans from your 401k, and then you have to pay interest to money that you borrow from your 401k. Everything's a lie. They use good word and good things to psychological playing mind games. And when you don't complain, they're stealing all your sales tax, you know, all this business are fraudsters. They ain't paying no money. All the sales tax they tax you, they only pay like 1% to the IRS, and the rest then goes in the pocket. Your employer tax you federal tax, and he stole all your federal tax money, and he only pay a little bit into IRS just to keep the account active. And you're gonna die before you reach retirement. All the Social Security benefits are gone. They have to steal from Peter to pay Paul. Guys. I know that because I got Social Security and tens of thousands of people are missing paycheck every month. Where all those money goes into the black budget? They disable your Social Security and you can't check your activities, your account activity online, so they could divert your money into a ghost account or a cash app, and you file a complaint, and then they just drop the balls on you and ignore you, and they just stole your whole month paycheck. The list just go on, guys. It's a very evil world in plain sight. When's people's gonna wake up? Your house already on fire, your car's already drove off the cliff, and you're still eating, drinking, watching footballs. And when reality hits you, it's game over for you. That's why we have so much homeless people, so much crime. It's a broken system. The system is designed to fail. You can't beat the system, guys. But if we all work together and play dumb, we can minimize the damage. The damage is already here. But what we can do is put bandage on it, minimize the damage. Guys. All your government and law enforcement are dirty pigs, dirty cop, dirty government. They're stealing taxpayers' money. They will like pass a bill or a budget to their buddy, a third party, or a nonprofit organization, and they will have somebody over there stealing the money from them. And then they will wire the account to one of their friends or family, and the family or friends will put out their cash and then give it to them. How do you think they got like a big ranch and driving like a Ferrari, a Lamborghini, or a Corvette? They have like private jets. They wear like a $5,000 suit. They got mansions, lands. What do you think our politicians get all this money from? The president only makes $200,000 a year. How does they own like a 500 acres of land and 3 mansions or 7 or 8 mansions, and have a private jet, a $55 million jet, What does they get all this money from, And we're talking about the president only make $200,000 a year, And you're talking about like your pastor and your mayors and the chief of police, and they got all this. What did they get all the money from, Yeah, they steal your drugs and put it back on the street, It's a Ponzi scheme, Ponzi scheme. It's a deception. Everything's rigged, You don't own your wife's pussy. Babylon, Jesus own your pussy. He be slaughtering your wife's pussy every night. You don't even know. Ask her about it. She'll tell you everything what I say. What I've been telling you, She fucked everybody. She's a slut, whore, prostitute. Your wife is just a whore, a prostitute, a cheater, a liar. She has so many boyfriends, so many secret illegal husbands. She got a whole bunch of money she hide on her phone, digital money or crypto coin, The whole world went bankrupt in 2018 when Sarah fucked my life up. She left me, she cheated me. She used all my money and all her prostitute money to all her illegal black husband or white husband, You're gonna pay, Sarah. I'm gonna know I'm gonna know everything. So you better clean up all your mess. And, you hide all your secret lovers, in here, and your whole family, all your illegal black baby and white baby in here. You're gonna pay, Silver. You're gonna watch me delete them in front of your face, and you're gonna cry like a little bitch. Remember, you're doing this to yourself. Nobody's doing it to you. But anyways, guys, we're living a tough time, guys. The whole world bankrupt. It's a smoke and mirrors. Stock market is all-time high, but why are you getting fired or laying off, getting your hours cut, getting moved around? You drive around every corner, every business. Business is going out. It's not active. It's not working. Some businesses will have the lights on, the open sign on, but the doors are locked. There's no people. Some businesses are out, empty. The buildings are empty, but they still have the business sign. So people don't panicking. Everybody's bankrupt. Nobody's paying their bills right now. My brother's a cop. One of my brothers a cop. He hasn't been getting paid for the past 5 months. And I asked him, he lied to me, My other brother, he got into an accident, and the insurance don't pay his card. Now he don't have a card. He's short a card. And he's been paying insurance for his car, and the insurance won't pay his car for him. Whatever bills you're paying right now, they're stealing your money. And then when you have an accident, the insurance don't cover. Or if you buy life insurance, you die, or somebody die. The person that you buy insurance will die, and then they're not going to pay you insurance. But then if you don't pay insurance, then you're not going to be covered too, Damn if you do, damn if you don't. You're paying your money to the mortgage to the bank, but the bank are bankrupt. And you're not getting credit for it, but if you don't pay your mortgage, and the bank's going to kick you out. You can't win, guys. Nobody ain't getting paid in the government. I don't know about private sector, but I know that people are getting hour cuts, and you're getting your pay deducted. For example, you make $25 an hour, they deduct it to what, like $15, You either take it or you leave, It's a mess. Everything's rigged. I still see a lot of animals still driving around like who gives a F, who cares? They just keep drive, or do whatever they do until reality hits them, and, that's when they'll say, oh shit, game over, People just don't care anymore. Live or die, It says in the Bible in the end time, life is too good. People are having sex with each other, drinking, eating, having sex with each other, eating babies, drinking bloods. That's why God sent the flood, and only Noah's family survived, Even when the rain came down for 7 days, 7 nights without stopping, people still eating, drinking, and having sex with each other. Until when the water gets really high, they say, oh shit, let's run to Noah's boat, or it's already too late, because God already closed the door. And when God warned Lot and his family to tell the two cities to start having sex with each other, start eating, drinking, the two cities laughed at Lot, And the two angels came and escorted Lot and his family, out of the cities before God sent down the firestone, bricks and stone fire, the meters, and destroyed the two cities. Lot's wife looked back. God said, don't look back. But she didn't listen because sex was too good, life was too good. She looked back, and God turned her into a sea salt. That's why she died, I am God. I'm telling everybody to repent, to take care of yourself, to be careful. Nobody give a fuck. Nobody give a shit. So why should I give a shit about you, Because nobody cares. Live or die, you don't care. You don't care if you live or die, Maybe some, but 90%, 95%, I see a lot of animals don't give a shit to what I've been telling everybody, I know all you guys can hear it. They try to rig my views, my subscriber. I would get like 1-2 views. But I know the whole world hurts me. All you guys can see it, your eyes. You can turn your eyes, and wherever I look, you guys see. Wherever I talk, the whole world hears it. They try to shut me up. They try to throw me in jail, imprison me, falsify me, or lock me here at the property. They don't want me to go anywhere because I'm going to start seeing stuff. They blind me, they deaf me, but I still got my third eyes. They try to shut me up so nobody knows the truth. They can't erase your memory. implant fake memories, CGIs, to make everything look natural and normal, and try to make me look like I'm a liar so nobody will believe me, you know? But look around you. Why is all the business going bankrupt? Why are you getting fired? Why are you getting laid off? Why is nobody's getting paid? What's going on? Why are you paying child support for kids that aren't yours? You know? The list just go on. You see the digit on your phone that you still got money. Well, why can't you go pull out money at the bank or ATM? Why is it frozen? Why did they put a restriction on it? You know? The list just go on, guys. You guys don't want to hear the truth. You guys don't want to accept the truth. You guys want to live in your fantasy la-la land. You know? You guys want to hear some nice, positive stuff that is fake, but you don't want to face reality. You don't want to hear the truth from me, God, your creator. You know? I come out here on social media and try to expose the evil, the devil, all the gangsters, and nobody wants to hear me. The gangster and the devils are the judge, the DA, the police, the government, your pastor, your politician leaders. They're all thugs and gangsters. The gangsters, thugs are the people in the suit, in uniform, and holds the badge. The judge that holds the hammer, that gonna lock you up. You are guilty before proven innocent. You are not innocent before proven guilty, guys. They use psyop, psychological mind game, to deceive you. So you won't be panicking, and you won't rebel. You won't complain. You know, this is how stupid you guys are. You know, all this news are fake. They gotta create crimes. You know, accidents. They have to create catastrophic events. Supply and demand. Inflation, deflation. To keep you in check. You know, to control you. To play you. If they can't control you, it doesn't give them power. You know? When's people's gonna wake up, guys? I'm very sick and tired of reminding you guys. I'm speaking the truth. I'm telling the truth, and nobody wants to hear it. Nobody wants to listen. But if, like, the mayor, or the president come out, or the government come out, hey, the economy's good. The stock market's all-time high. You see on the screen? But why are you not having a job? Why are you getting laid off and fired? Why is all the businesses closing down? Why can't you access your money to your bank or your 401k? Your pension is gone. Why you got problems then? If the stock market is all-time high, see? If Trump or Gavin Newsom or Dyer come out and say, hey, the economy's good, everybody believe it, even though you know it's a lie. But as God, me, I come out and tell you guys, the whole world, we're getting fucked right here. You know, we've been lied to and nobody cares. You know? This is why, you know, not everybody's going to make it. You know? Your house already on fire, your car already drives a cliff, and you don't care. You still eating, drinking. I still see people go out and eat. You're paying $15 for a hamburger, you know? And you're eating plastic, you know? All the foods are fake. You guys got cybernetic eyes. You guys can't tell the difference. Dry your meat. Those beef jerky. Examine. They're freaking plastic. You know, they look real, but they're plastic. Your rice is plastic. Your meat patty is plastic. Your hot dog is plastic. Try to heat it up like 5 minutes and touch the texture. It's plastic. It ain't no meat. You're eating edible plastic. It's edible, but it's plastic, okay? Just that you don't die. You know? Nothing's natural. You know, guys? I don't know. How can I wake people up? Nobody cares, you know? Nobody wants to listen. I told you guys to stop running human trafficking, and you guys don't care. You know? I still see a lot of a-holes still running human trafficking. You still go Starbucks, McDonald's in the drive-thru like no tomorrow. In-N-Out. In-N-Out has the worst burgers and fry in the freaking world. And the In-N-Out that just opened right there on Toledo and Clovis, I passed by there. I see like 200 or 300 cars lining up like there's no tomorrow. Like they gotta get that fry and burgers. You know, you got the full shit. You know, I don't want to stay positive anymore. I get very angry. I get very loud, and I was cussing and saying bad things. You know, because you guys don't listen. You guys don't care. No matter how much I've been trying to tell you guys, get the message. Nobody cares, you know. But if Jerry Dias or Trump or Gavin Newsom come out and say, "Hey, do this and this," and everybody believes them. Oh, don't worry, the economy's good. The stock market's all-time high. We're gonna bring more jobs, and everybody all calm and believe it, you know. But then why are you not having a job? Why are you getting your car repo? Why is your account freeze? Why you can't touch your money? You see how delusional, how stupid you are, you know? You don't want to accept the truth. I'm telling you guys, if you think you're getting paid, you think you got money, you think everything's still working, it's a lie. They're staging everything. It's a smoke and mirrors. They use clones and CGIs, you know, to fake everything, to make you look like the economy is still normal, businesses are still opening, the government are still working. No. Go check for yourself. City Hall is shut down. The airport shut down. The court shut down. The police station shut down. The sheriff department shut down. Nothing is working, guys. They're just clones and pirates and thieves and gangsters. You know, guys? But you don't care. You know? You just keep doing whatever you're doing until reality hits you, and then you're on the street crying like a little bitch, you know? I should have listened to White Elephant or Steve. You know, why don't I look into it to see what Steve is trying to tell us? Is it real or not? You know? But nobody cares. All the businesses are bankrupt. They just can't. A lot of them just don't put out the available sign on it because people's going to start panicking. You know? A lot of people, nobody has been paying the bills for the past year or several months. All their houses are foreclosure. You know? But they erase your memory, making you think you're still making payment, making you think you still got money. They reprogram you. But that's not what's really happening, guys. Because there are no more money coming to the government. That's why they ain't getting paid. Everybody's bankrupt for the past 8 years, and Donald Trump, Superman's been hiding this. They just print little money to liquidate so you still have food and lights on. You know? They CGI everything. They can make you see, hear, feel things that aren't there. They can reprogram you, erase your memory, implant fake memory, and you can't tell the difference. But you already in the shitter, you know? And you still think the economy is good and everything's all right. Then why are you broke, you know? Why are you having a problem? Why is all the businesses are bankrupt? There's no customers. Everything's staged. Go find out for yourself. You know? Look at every aspect. Every department, every industry. Your neighbors, it starts from your house, your family, your neighbors, your friends, your co-worker, people you know, the news, drive around every, industry. That's where you're going to combine everything together and see the truth. What Steve's trying to tell you guys, give me the message. Nothing is working. Everything is a stage. The whole world is bankrupt. Nothing ain't coming back. Babylon, your human trafficking is done. Jesus, Trump can't help you. Superman can't help you. You better start helping yourself. I don't know why you guys still running human trafficking. You're going to get arrested. All those buildings are being swapped. And those good cops are ready to arrest you. You know, how much stupid can you get? Once you go in that building's a transformer. It's gonna lock you in there, and you can't get out. And that's how you get arrested. Doesn't matter how powerful you are. You're Superman. Power can't help you. You can't get out, and you're gonna get arrested, and get replaced by a clone. You know. I already reached 25 minutes, so I already said what I gotta say. Everything. So I hope everybody's take care of yourself, okay, guys? I'm your dad, you know. Trump erased history. Superman Jesus erased history. You know, reprogram us. You know, lie to us. Everybody's wrong. Doesn't matter you're white, black, Mexican, Hindu, wherever. Change your DNA, confuse the language. You know, I'm your dad. You know, all you guys are my kids. Jesus changed you into other race. You know, make you ugly. Everybody's very handsome like angels. You know, everybody's very pretty like angels. You know, but they make us look like very ugly and fat. You know, nobody can know the truth. You know, but before this video ends, you know, cái nó nó xéo rồi đó, tôi mong lấy cái này, you know, có nên cho cái lớp bì thế này, you know, that's why cái lớp bì ở lư này, on judgment day, hai cái tổ cho trắng con này, you know, cho cái sự kiện gì trong thế này, you know, cho họ có nên cho cái lớp bì, hai cái nên sau trang thế này, you know, you told me not to think with my dick and think with my head, but you do exactly what you told me, you know, cho họ có nên cho cái lớp bì thế này, you know, tên lớp pay nó cũng sẽ hai cái này xấu rồi. Cái sáng này của hai cái của chế cái I feel really good about it, you know. But you're wherever everything you do, karma's catching up to you. You're doing this to yourself, so you only could get mad at yourself. So, you know, there's no way out for you and T. T's not dead. You impersonal Donald Duck. You a jackass crypto Pac-Man. You're a god. You control the Matrix. You're everywhere. Your real copy hides in here. You're all your black guy husband and white guy's husband. You hide them in here. All your illegal family are hiding in here, and your rap copies out here. You know, you can't play me, Silver. You ran me over. You pretend to be my attorney. You stole my money. You're not paying me. You telepathy for other dog to bite me. You following me around. You know, Silver. You're gonna have to pay. Don't take a time, Silver. You know, you can't play me. Yeah, you guys blind me. I can't see you. Your copy is following me around. While your real copies in here and you're everywhere, you're fucking with me the whole time, everywhere. You telling people beat me up, you know, you beat me up, you know. There's no turning back for you and T, Sour. I already told you, your future is at Belmont 99, Mountain View Cemetery. Okay? So I hope everybody gets paid. Okay? I will pay you double whatever you lost in your crypto, okay? And I hope my bankers and my family listen to me, okay? I want to pay everybody double, okay? Because I have infinity money, digital money and crypto coin, okay? I just can't. I don't know how to withdraw physical money or gold or silver, okay? I know where the bank's at, but on Blackstone, but I don't have my account, so that's why I'm very poor, okay, guys. But I know how to pay you guys, okay, guys? So everybody just need to work together and play dumb, okay? Make things look real, but don't mean it. So we could play the devil, the bad guys, and play the Matrix, okay, guys? I'm going to talk crap on everybody, so just don't let it bother you because of the J-Riders, okay? So, you know, I'm going to be exposing everybody, talking shit, talking crap on everybody. So just don't let it bother you, okay? I'm your dad. You know, I don't want to hurt you guys. But I have to do this because of the J-Riders. I got to do this to undo the They Hadn't Trapped J-Riders. No way out for anybody, okay, guys? Shit's going to hit the fan of everybody, okay? But no matter what happened, you can never die if you're the original one I created, okay, guys? Everybody just has to swallow up all my bullshit, okay? Everything I do, I go It's gonna offset somebody in the matrix, or it's gonna offset something. Okay, but wherever you have lost, I will pay you back double. Okay, guys, and stay safe. Okay, guys, love, Dad.